C.B. Dalton, sworn in for the state, 32nd to testify. I know Leo M. Frank, Daisy Hopkins, and Jim Conley. I have visited the National Pencil Company 3, 4, or 5 times. I have been in the office of Leo M. Frank 2 or 3 times. I have been down in the basement. I don't know whether Mr. Frank knew I was in the basement or not, but he knew I was there. I saw Conley there and the night watchman, and he was not Conley. There would be some ladies in Mr. Frank's office. Sometimes there would be 2 and sometimes 1. Maybe they didn't work in the mornings and they would be there in the evenings. Cross-examination. I don't recollect the first time I was in Mr. Frank's office. It was last fall. I have been down there one time this year, but Mr. Frank wasn't there. It was Saturday evening. I went in there with Miss Daisy Hopkins. I saw some parties in the office, but I don't know them. They were ladies. Sometimes there would be 2 and sometimes more. I don't know whether it was the stenographer or not. I don't recollect the next time I saw him in his office. I never saw any gentleman but Mr. Frank in there. Every time I was in Mr. Frank's office was before Christmas. Miss Daisy Hopkins introduced me to him. I saw Conley there one time this year and several times on Saturday evenings. Mr. Frank wasn't there the last time. Conley was sitting there at the front door. When I went down the ladder, Miss Daisy went with me. We went back by the trash pile in the basement. I saw an old cot and a stretcher. I have been in Atlanta for 10 years. I have never been away over a week. I saw Mr. Frank about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was no curtains drawn in the office. It was very light in there. I went in the first office near the stairway. The night watchman I spoke of was a negro. I saw him about the 1st of January. I saw a negro night watchman there between September and December. I lived in Walton County for 20 years. I came right here from Walton County. I was absent from Walton County once for 2 or 3 years and lived in Lawrenceville. I have walked home from the factory with Miss Laura Atkins and Miss Smith. Redirect examination. I gave Jim Conley a half dozen or more quarters. I saw Mr. Frank in his office in the daytime. Mr. Frank had Coca-Cola, lemon and lime and beer in the office. I never saw the ladies in his office doing any writing. Recalled for cross-examination. Andrew Dalton is my brother-in-law. John Dalton is a first cousin. I am the Dalton that went to the chain gang for stealing in Walton County in 1894. We all pleaded guilty. The others paid out. I don't know how long I served. I stole a shop hammer. That was in case number L. There were 3 cases and the sentences were concurrent. One of the other Daltons stole a plow, and I don't know what the other one stole. I was with them. In 1899, at the February term of Walton Superior Court, I was indicted for helping steal bale of cotton. In Gwinnett County, I was prosecuted for stealing corn, but I came clear. Redirect examination. It has been 18 or 20 years since I have been in trouble. I was drunk with the 2 Dalton boys when we got into that hammer and plow stock scrape. Cross-examination. I don't know whether I was indicted in 1906 in Walton County for selling liquor. I know Dan Hillman and I know Bob Harris. I don't know whether I was indicted for selling liquor to them or not. Redirect examination. Miss Daisy Hopkins knows Mr. Frank. I have seen her talking to him and she told me about it.